Hey guys, 50-50 here. I'm Andros,
My name is Ben.
and this is our Yin-Yang segment. We'll be discussing the pros and cons of everything around us, from the inner workings of space all the way to the mental perceptions of Instagram models. We'll be covering a wide spectrum from the good and bad of everything in this life and giving you the polar opposite extremes of light and darkness. In this video, we'll be covering the pros and cons of having an open mind. Having an open mind can set you up for a life full of adventure and good times, but if you're too receptive to everything you see or hear, it can lead you down a path of misguided truth. It really can. It happened to this guy right here.
Don't
Let's get
tell him. What the fuck?
let's get right into the top 5 pros of having an open mind. Number 1, you become smarter. You're willing to listen to what other people have to say, and maybe they have some tip or some kind of advice that'll help you down the road and help you grow as an overall person.
Yeah, a lot of you motherfuckers are way too close-minded. Like, it.
Just straight up,
Yeah.
stop being a closed-minded Sally. No, a closed-minded Carl.
Well, it's not even like that. I'm not saying you should agree to everything, but you should at least, if something conflicts your worldly opinion, at least be willing to listen. You know, to the
Yeah.
point. Hear the person out
Yeah.
instead of just assuming that you're right.
Yeah,
You're not as smart as you think you
It
are.
kind of makes me upset that way, because if you have a closed mind, it's like you're probably not going to take into what the other person has to say and take that into account and actually use it to benefit yourself. But just know that you can learn something from anyone who crosses your path.
I think the biggest thing with that is accepting that you don't know everything.
Yeah, you gotta play the student in every situation. Well, not every situation,
Yeah.
but most situations, play the student.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if you soak that information up like a sponge, you'll grow and be a better person. That's smarter.
Yeah.
Number 2, grass is greener on the other side. So people that are open-minded tend to always go and look for other things, like maybe another adventure they want to take. Maybe they want to get a new job. They're just super receptive and open-minded to like all the external forces around them. Whereas closed-minded people, I feel like, stay kind of where they are. Like they're very content. Like they don't like change. Open-minded people are willing to change.
Yeah, I feel like, and it goes back to knowing that you think that you're right. If you know that you think that you're right all the time, you're not going to assume that the truth might be outside of my knowledge base. The truth might be outside of what I've been told and what I've just been hearing all my life. You know, you listen to your doctor who tells you, hey, like, this disease is not curable. Oh, like, you have asthma. You're not going to be able to be a good runner. You know? Stupid shit like that.
Is that what they told you? That you'd never be a good runner due to your asthma attack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. Like, I did have asthma, but they did tell me, like, there's a big chance that I'm going to have this for the rest of my life. And then come, like, 10 years later, they go, oh, like, everyone gets cured of asthma. Like, when you're 18, like, you're going to get over it.
It just
So,
goes away on its
yeah,
own.
it's just believing in, like, the truth or the supposed truth way too much.
Number 3, a constant curiosity. So that's one big difference between a closed-minded person and an open-minded person, is that the open-minded person is constantly trying to find new information. If that means maybe the latest workout plan or like the latest any kind of groundbreaking study that's going to take their game and just level them up quicker, whereas a closed-minded person is only going to be thinking that their way is the right way, even though there might be something better out there that an open-minded person might find.
Yeah, and I think that not being curious enough is what leads to fucking smartasses, man. You know, you get someone who just, they can't be wrong. They have their arms crossed the whole argument. There's this shit like this. Just fucking can't take hearing others' opinions besides their own. Yeah, you got to be curious enough to search for the truth. Because if you think you know it all, you probably don't, bitch.
Not even Gandhi knew everything. And that nigga was like historical. He'll go down in our history. Number 4, variety. If that means trying a new food and for the first time, and even though it might look fucking gross, you might find that you have a special place in your heart for that escargot that you just tried eating out of that plate.
Now backwards.
Another thing is, why in a rainbow, why would you want to be purple and not green, blue, orange, and purple? Variety. It just, being open-minded just gives you more variety in your life and allows you to try new things.
I think I have a slight problem with that. Like myself, I have an issue with variety because I've always been a picky eater, and if there's like food that just looks gross, or if it's like a certain seafood or certain vegetable I don't like, I won't eat that shit. Like I'm the type of guy that's like, yo, chicken fingers and fries. Like
You know what?
every restaurant I go.
You know what I wonder?
What?
I wonder if we didn't have eyes and we couldn't see and we couldn't perceive anything. Imagine eating escargot with your eyes closed. You wouldn't even be able to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see what that nasty fish looks like. I guarantee you would eat that fish from
Yeah.
Costco with the eye that's looking at you.
Yeah, seriously. You just if it like tastes good and it's like a sheep eyeball and you're just blindfolded and like, yo, like eat this, eat that. You'd be eating like a horse dick and you'd be like, yo.
Yo, this is quite salty. Mm.
Never ate a horse dick before, but
No, I thought I saw you on the Fear Factor.
that's a different video site. Yeah. I wasn't the guy who got killed by it, by the way. I was the guy who survived.
Number 5 is respect. So being open-minded, you're actually going to let people talk and express their own opinions, because this might be hard to believe, but you're not the only person with an opinion. Other people have an opinion. So people that are closed-minded tend to not listen to other people. They might just zone them out. They might be like, oh man, that's not right.
Yeah.
But an open-minded person will actually take that other person's opinion and account for it with a level of respect and actually allow that person to express his opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the people who tell us some shit that they think is right, it's they don't have that much respect for like the truth. You got to respect the truth, and you got to respect the fact that
Everybody has their own sense of the truth.
yeah, there's that quote, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but not everyone's entitled to their own facts. And I feel like respect has a big part to do with that, because you got to respect the fact that you don't know everything. Again, assuming just an ongoing topic throughout this whole pros series of being open-minded is smartasses suck, man. If you're a smartass, like, kill yourself. Like not actually, but like you're kind of a waste of oxygen because you think you know everything when you actually don't, bitch.
So being open-minded definitely has its advantages. It can lead you to a life full of adventure, or allow you to try that escargot that you've been looking at for the last 10 years and you haven't wanted to touch it, or even that fish from Costco with the eyeball that's sticking out and looks like it's looking at you. Having an open mind will actually allow you to grow some balls and go and try that shit.
Grow some balls to eat some balls.
An open mind can allow you to live an adventurous life while increasing your IQ points. It'll literally make you smarter, being more receptive to the people around you and not thinking that you're the only right one in the room. That's not the way the world works.
Yeah.
But too much openness can leave you vulnerable in certain situations. Yeah, being too open-minded can really fuck you up.
Yeah.
Here are the top 5 cons of open minds. Number 1, not distinguishing between right or wrong. So if some guy's like, hey man, like I've been suffering with a cold the last week, but I've been sniffing cocaine, and I feel like it really helps my cold. And then you listen to that guy's opinion, and the next time you get a cold, you start doing cocaine. Like, you can't believe everything that people tell you. Like no matter who you are, like, you can't believe everything is true information, because it's not. And a lot of the time, it's like bro science. You ever heard that? Where, oh bro, it worked for me, man, it'll work for you. No, it really won't, because everybody's body's different. So what I suggest is that you take a little piece from everybody who crosses your path and craft it into your own creation and build from what people tell you, but don't take it entirely. Like, don't take it 100% entirely for what it is.
Yeah, don't just agree to something because it sounds good. You know, you got to be able to know. You got to be able to weigh out the options, and just like weighing out your options in a good way, like deciding, it can also be bad because you might have too many options to weigh out to even get like a definite answer, right or wrong, because you're weighing out like 10 theories, you know. 10 things that someone told you about the same topic.
Doesn't that point make sense, though? Is that, like, everybody's going to add, like, a little piece of information into your life, but, like, they might be like, oh, like, if you do your arm curls like this, then and you start doing them like that, but then another guy goes, hey man, you should start doing them like this. You kind of have to take a little piece of advice and information from everybody and learn to craft it into your own to become the best version, because every single person's different. Isn't that a really good point?
Or if someone like thinks that it's a good workout but it'll actually like fuck up your body, and you just go ahead and do it, like you go, yeah, it's also about being premeditative.
I wonder who that was about.
We have an inside joke here. This happened to him. Someone gave him shitty advice. We're not going to say any names, but
No.
he like hurt his back, and his back's been fucked up all week from it. Yeah.
Number 2, being too open-minded can be a waste of time. It's not always a waste of time, but for sure open-minded people go looking for like information or videos or just anything that's not going to benefit their life. Like the Illuminati might be real and you might be open-minded to that idea, but knowing that the Illuminati is real isn't really going to allow you to progress your life and evolve into a better you.
Yeah. I have a quote that I like a lot. It's there's some smart people out there, but a lot of clowns rule this world. And if you're listening to quote unquote like a clown's perspective, he might sound like he's right, but in reality, like, he could be the furthest thing from being right. And if someone just has a shitty opinion, they convince you on that, or you're just spending all this time like taking in possibilities. Yeah, you won't know what to decide.
Number 3, not opinionated. And what happens a lot of the time, people with open minds tend to not have their own set of opinions, so then they tend up being like sheep and listening to the lion, the guy who's closed-minded, the guy who's kind of like, he's like the leader of the pack, but he's not listening to any of the open-minded. He's being like, hey, open-minded people, I have the right answer, and those open-minded people are probably going to follow him and start doing what that lion at the top's doing.
Yeah, just because you have like the mallet, like anyone can grab a mallet, just make it look like you know what you're doing, like you're in charge. Yeah, it's just retarded. Like, picture I don't know, like a fucked up dictator. Like, let's say Hitler, or even if, like, Trump's gonna be a dictator. A lot of people are calling him fucking Hitler, but let's say he actually means, like, harm to this world and the country. People could just, like, agree to that. Or anybody, not even Trump, like, anybody, man. Anyone can get in power and then just, like, mindlessly, literally guide a flock of sheep. Which is, to whatever grasses they want.
Because we're so receptive to the media. That's a really good point with the media. We're so receptive. We're so open to it. Like, you'll start believing that, like, the media is the truth, but, like, sometimes the media isn't the truth.
Everything that you hear, you'll believe, but you need an opinion to distinguish.
Number 4, agreeing with everything. So, literally not being able to think for yourself and being a yes man. I know Walmart loves hiring yes men, people that are open-minded, but, like, you can't agree with everything, because then you're not going to be your own person. You're not going to, like, know what is good for you and what's not. Like, if you agree with everything, you're going to be, like, literally like a doormat to walk over.
Yeah. Picture yes men in, like, a celebrity status group. Pray to God that you don't become one of those people, but you're not going to be your own person. You're not going to have anything new to offer to the table, because you're just going to be yup. Be like a fucking robot.
And people get super bored of that. Like, nobody wants to hear a guy, like, agree with everything you have to say. If you're going to agree with everything you have to say and you're a dude, your girlfriend is literally going to leave you in a second, because, like people need to have discussions. People need to have arguments. Just, like, a healthy part of being a human. And if you're agreeing with everything, like, you're just an easy target to walk over and take advantage of.
Yeah. Not saying you should debate everything, but
no,
definitely having the ability to put up a fight in an argument, or at least having a strong opinion, like having morals, man.
And to stand up for what you believe in. Like even though, like, you might not like, your girlfriend might love Donald Trump, but you hate Donald Trump, and then she's going to be like, oh my God, like, I love Donald Trump. Do you love Donald Trump? And then you say, yeah. You're not really, like, sticking to, like, you're not really having integrity. In that situation. You're not really staying true to yourself, and you're just agreeing with her because she's your girlfriend. That's not healthy.
Yeah, like, it's one thing to have an opinion, but it's another thing to stand for something.
Number 5, it makes you gullible. So if I told you that I was going to take the word gullible out of the dictionary, there's probably people that would believe me, and that's a sad reality. but being too open-minded can make you extremely gullible and take what every single person on the planet, everything they say, you're gonna take seriously. What if I told you like the new fitness trend is lighting yourself on fire and like heating up your metabolism? Like I hope you don't do that, but imagine if that was possible, and imagine if people listen to that and were that gullible. Just don't be open-minded to the point where it's gonna like be detrimental to your well-being.
Yeah, because then you get played out like a fool. When people know that you just believe everything, they can make up a lie, and you could clearly believe what's not even real. You know, someone could completely guide you into just like, I don't know, like being like, yeah, like eating vegetables makes you fat. Like, I bet, dude, people get convinced that the world is fucking flat. I'm not calling out
You're telling me that the world isn't flat?
I'm not calling out anybody out in specific, but like, how the fuck did you get to that conclusion, bitch? Like serious? No,
being too gullible though, for real, will make people think that you're like retarded, like special needs, at least stupid. Maybe you like
a fool.
Yeah, you just have your IQ points aren't up to par with like the average person, and you might be called special needs. You might even be put in a special ed classroom. That's beyond me, and definitely shouldn't have gone there.
He doesn't know what that feels like.
But at the end of the day, having an open mind, too much of an open mind, can like destroy you. It can wreck you. It can
make you look too vulnerable, I think.
Yeah, way too vulnerable and way too easily taken advantage of. Like once somebody knows that you're easily taken advantage of, they'll just keep taking advantage and advantage and advantage. And like
just to see where it'll go.
If that's a boss at work that you're trying to impress, like he's gonna use like every little piece of like energy you have and like just manipulate you and destroy you. And being too open-minded won't get you far in life.
No, because it makes you look weak, vulnerable, and exposed. It's a form of being exposed. You don't ever want to be exposed in that sense.
At the end of the day, an open mind can open you up to new experiences. It really can. It can challenge you. It can change you for the better. But it can also walk you down the road of uncertainty.
Yeah, it can make you just as weak.
Super weak. So guys, that was our Yin-Yang segment on open minds. We hope you enjoyed, and make sure to like and subscribe, and please let us know your thoughts on this subject. And feel free to comment on any notable experiences you've had with your open mind or closed mind. But I really hope that this video has opened your mind and showing you the top 5 pros of it and the top 5 cons of it. And you guys take that and learn from it, and just know that there's a point of being too open-minded that can be detrimental to your well-being. Yeah. For 50/50 Films, I'm Andros.
My name is Ben.
And thank you for watching.